Madison Bothwell, and I'm going to be talking about what women's sports mean to me. Emphasis on the woman. I originally had a different plan for the direction this would go, but here I am. I'm going to be taking a little bit of a different approach today while doing this story, if you will, just to tell you about one of the best moments in my sports career that I feel like culminate all the aspects of this story. I'm going to be telling you about moments within my career in sport that I feel go unnoticed directly because women are not valued and are seen less than in a lot of ways when it comes to our sport. To some, this might seem too self-centered, but to me, these are some of my greatest accomplishments that I've never gotten the space to share. Firstly, we're going to go down a little bit of a side quest to gain context on my passion for being a woman in sport. But hey, you asked for this story. So to get into it, I have never felt like a feminine girl. Don't get me wrong. I genuinely love being a woman. I genuinely think we are the best. I mean, who else can create life? With that said, I've never felt feminine. I've always looked for ways to express my masculinity. My mother taught me about feminism at a very young age because she is a passionate feminist. So I've always grown up knowing what being a woman in this world is actually like. That as much as we try, we will always have to fight for a seat at the table. No matter if we are the best or the most knowledgeable in the room, we will always be assumed as less than our male counterparts. And I know that sounds very morbid, but at the end of the day, that's how interwoven we are into the patriarchy. With that said, I've always known being a woman will always feel lesser than. And I wanted so badly to feel equal with men. Not even that, but to show men, just because they have a penis, it does not mean they are superior. It has always bugged me, so that drove me pretty hard within my athletic career. I've always wanted to be the leader in the room and made sure of that. And I always made sure that could happen for me. For example, when I went to one of my very first rugby tryouts ever, I went up to my coach and I said, if there are any leadership opportunities within this team, I would love to be considered. I've always loved sports, as I said. I've played pretty much all I could growing up. But as I said, the aggressive side of sport is really the way I to express myself and show men that women can do everything and more they can. Because the assumption in women's sport is always that we are less than just because we are women, and that is simply untrue. My rugby coach is the self football coach. He trains us the same way as the football boys. We have practice every day after school as well. But yet somehow our sport goes unnoticed. You don't get any recognition, and as the leader of the team, that genuinely irritates me to my soul, especially because male athletes are always put on a pedestal and their accomplishments are always seen as awesome and the greatest. But yeah, I've had some pretty amazing moments in all of my time playing sports, and I guarantee not even a handful of people know about them. That is why I've taken the time to tell you about the best moments in my sports career that happened quite recently. I first started playing rugby in grade 11. I had never played the sport before, but I immediately knew I loved it. As someone who has played pretty much every sport growing up, my favorites were soccer and football, and that was because I got to play like a girl, aggressive, competitive, and exhausting. That is the part of sport that has always been addicting to me. I loved it because I got to show the strongest side of me. I immediately fell in love. It was soccer and football combined, and as I said, those were my favorites. Last year, my first year ever playing rugby, I got to be team captain and lead warm-ups every practice and game. I got to continue that honor into this year. P.S. Being a captain in grade 11 is a big accomplishment in itself because usually the most senior person takes that honor. Also, at the end of last rugby season, at the athletic banquet, I got awarded rugby MVP, and that is probably one of the biggest highlights in my high school career. I've always wanted to be on that stage, being recognized for athleticism. I will forever be grateful for my coach, Dave. Dave recognized my athleticism and leadership and passion right away, and that is something I will always be thankful for. He gave me a place to shine in a way I always strive to. This year, rugby has given me so many amazing moments already. First example is my coach, Dave, has pulled me up in front of my team multiple times in the middle of the huddle, highlighting my successes as a rugby player and saying I'm an asset to the team and telling the team why I am the leader of the team. He says I'm fast and I'm strong and I'm a great leader, and he will never know how much that really means to me. Secondly, this year we have the honor of having a Team Canada rugby player helping out as a coach. Coach West is around the same size as me, and that is something that's really inspiring as a smaller girl who has played contact sport. This year, Dave pulled me up beside Coach West and said, "Look at the difference between a Team Canada player and our best South rugby player." He went on to say that there is not much difference between me and Coach West. We are around the same size, and she has me specifically playing the same position she had played, which is scrum half. And she pulled me aside one day and said I would be a great scrum half. Coming from her was the best compliment I could ever get, especially since I had just started playing scrum half this year. Coach Dave went on to say that we are both the smallest people out there on the field, but never are afraid, and that should show a good example to never be timid and always be aggressive. This was an insane highlight for me. I felt vindicated, quite honestly, with all my struggles within sports. Another moment with Coach West was we were running a drill that was new to our team, new to everybody. She pulled me up to do the drill with her, and me and Coach West went down a line with defenders, passing and catching back and forth down the field. Each pass was clean, and we both caught every ball. This to me was an insane moment because I kept up with a Team Canada player and did the drill perfectly with, again, a Team Canada player. And I know that doesn't sound like much, but that is something I will never forget. Anyways, thank you for letting me ramble on about myself. Hopefully it wasn't too self-absorbed, but that is my story, and I really wanted to share it. And I just wanted to thank you for listening to this whole video and giving me a place to share my greatest accomplishments. I want to end this video off by sharing one of my favorite quotes that has gotten me through my athletic career, and that is, "No failure is final and no success is permanent." Thank you for listening.